sparked tremendous debate all across social media platforms in regards to what exactly is this space, what exactly is this platform, what exactly is this that you and I have grown up with, the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate series of events there, from the moment of the handshake that never was to the first press conference is probably about 20 to 30 minutes in real time. So there is some time there for people to cool off, for people to rethink some things, for people to have a different approach. And during Coach Robinson's press conference, that didn't happen.
Right.
So I believe he meant what he said. I take him for what he said because he had that cool off time. And one of the things about not being SWAC, Chuck, I took a different manner. What I heard is you're not black. I heard some code switch in there. I heard you're not one of us. And so you presented it in the connotation of an athletic conference, but what you're really trying to say about Deion Sanders is that you're not like us, you're not from us, you're not as black as us, you're not black, and I just think that kind of rhetoric, is always dangerous. It's always divisive. You try to divide and conquer and seek, and you get people to rally behind you behind that point because you can't rally behind a victory, and so it gets into that old argument that we have amongst each other, about somebody not being black enough and who gets to decide that. But here's a guy who chose to be in the HBCU space, who grew up in a black home, black family. Yes, he's had some success in life, and whatever this connection is to when you say you're not SWAC, you're not being black enough to struggle. I don't understand, because even in Coach Robinson's press conference on Monday that all the SWAC coaches do, when somebody asked him about what he meant, he talked about, I'm from the SWAC. I had to ride the bus, to games before, not just fly. Like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Here's a guy who's in this space, giving it his all, got Jackson State a new field, has offered assistance to sister institutions, has donated half his salary to finish public buildings. The list goes on and on.
Each of the kids.
And he got to that part that all of his kids except one, DeAndre is not at Jackson State, but everybody is at Jackson State. How much more black? I ain't gonna say SWAC because I know what you meant. You weren't saying SWAC. How much more black does a guy got to be than putting his kids somewhere and his money somewhere and his time and heart somewhere? So I thought it was just hella offensive. I think it was childish and immature, for him to double down and triple down in that manner and accuse somebody, he's not one of us kind of thing.
Great points, Neely. When you bring that out, and the question becomes, how much more SWAC do you have to be? I mean, how much more invested do you have to be in Jackson State or invested in this HBCU space?
Well, we always tease each other about getting your SWAC hours up, and we'll say that to people who join the conference or individuals who may transfer for another school. But the reality, man, that's just tongue-in-cheek joking. Eddie Robinson wasn't joking, and he had time to rethink about that comment before he made it between the handshake and the press conference. And he had from Saturday night to Monday morning to rethink about it. He still doubled down again, equating SWACness, aka blackness, to you didn't ride a bus. And, Chuck, you and I talked about it before, I had to touch the wires at Dixon Hall to make the elevator come. And now somebody can make an elevator come on campus, just by walking up toward it with their voice. That doesn't make me more black than they are. We got to stop. We got to stop equating struggle and I had it harder than you. That's some kind of slave mentality, man. Damn the rough side of the mountain. Let's go up the smooth side of the mountain that people paved the way for us and be appreciative of it. So I think, again, Chuck, it was some code switching going on. And I think he was trying to talk about a little bit more than football there. But, one thing I've seen about Coach Bryant, the more you swing at him, the stronger he gets. So I say he is a hell of a counterpuncher. So I say keep swinging.
I mean, he is the ultimate counterpuncher. I mean, like I said, I was impressed, the counter argument to whatever was presented. And he does a tremendous job at that. He really, and now it's gone viral, and there's a TikTok and everything, and obviously, there are apparel now that you can put on.
You were in the press conference room waiting for it to start, and I was in the hall, and and kind of walked in with him. And when he passed by me, he said something to the effect like, "Oh, it's on. This is about to be a show." Like he was ready, for this moment. And then you and I looked at each other and winked. And because you just know when your guy's in the zone. He was
right.
he was in the zone.
He was in the zone. He was definitely in the zone. So, man, we continue talking about this reviewing this Alabama State game.